What's up everybody, I'm the Amazing Gap and welcome to a tutorial. I know it's been a long time, 9 months, probably. I got some comments saying that people wanted me to do a tutorial on how to record video, my gameplay, and I thought I'd do that, so yeah. Let's go with the software. First things first, I record with OBS, not the studio version. That one sucks and I don't understand it. Before I start talking about settings and sources and crap like that, I just want to say I know OBS is confusing, but once you get the settings set up, you'll be fine and you never have to think about it ever again. So if you want to change what your encoding settings are, because you're gonna need to do that, let's go over to the top left, settings, and then encoding. This is like where the most important stuff is for how your video is gonna look. For me, I have a sucky CPU, so I'm gonna show you my settings. Jared, on the other hand, the guy I record with, has a better CPU, so he's gonna show you his settings once we get to that. I personally use NVENC, NVIDIA NVENC, it shows right there. I use bitrate of 10,000. You can use whatever you want. I used to use like 20,000. I don't remember why. Just make sure your game isn't lagging out, your computer is fine, and you'll have a good recording. As far as the video setting goes in that little bar thing, just make sure it's your resolution of your monitor and the refresh rate, frames per second, is 60, unless you don't want to record in 60. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but I mean, you could do whatever you want, I guess. Okay, this is the confusing part that I'm just gonna like freeze frame so you can look at it and copy it if you want. This is the advanced settings. I don't remember what most of it does. I just know Jared, the guy I record with, is like, hey, do these. And I was like, you got it. Yeah, copy that and we'll move on. All right. Next is how I record the game audio, which is kind of convoluted, but this is how I can keep the voice files and the gameplay files completely separate. What you want for your audio device is confusing to say the least, but we're gonna use this thing called VB audio cable or virtual audio cable. Just install it, download it, do it at once, and then we can go from there and set things up. Next thing you're gonna wanna do, right click on that little speaker icon, you know what I'm looking at, and do playback devices. So you're in here, you see VB audio cables in here, all this stuff. Click the recording tab, head all the way down to VB audio cable. Make sure you right click it, go to properties, go to listen. And you wanna make sure this listen to this device is clicked. Now in the drop down menu, just select the headphones that you use. And then once you do that, click apply. Once you do that, you're all set. Now we're gonna go back to OBS, and then you should have this VB audio cable, and then audio will work. Next, we're gonna set up a source so you can actually see your gameplay. There are two kinds of sources that I use personally. One is monitor capture, which just captures everything that's on your screen, and two is game capture, window capture, something like that, where it just captures the game. So first, I'm gonna show you how to set up a monitor capture. So just right click on the sources, go to add, then go to monitor capture, and then you can name it whatever you want. I'm just gonna monitor capture 2. In here, if you don't want to capture your mouse cursor, just untick that. All of this looks fine. And then just press OK, and then bada bing, bada boom, there it is. I'm gonna preview the stream just so you know what you're looking at. It looks all weird because it's on the same screen, but you're previewing it, and that's what it looks like. Next is game capture. So do the same thing, go to sources, then right click add, then add game capture, and then you can either select the application specifically. So if you wanted a specific game to record, like in monitor capture wasn't working out for you, and then there's specifics, you just want that one game, you can go in, and as long as the game is on, you can go into your applications and then choose it from there. I personally like to use a hotkey. So if you're in the game, you press that hotkey and then bam, you've got just the game in there. I set it to the asterisk key on my numpad, but you can set it to whatever you want. You just click it and then you press whatever you want, and then there it is. And then again, you could do the capture mouse cursor or whatever else you want, and then you could just press OK, and then bam, there it is. So just make sure when you want to use game capture that you go into the game, click that hotkey, and then bam, you see it. Next, I'm gonna go into how we record audio for our videos. I personally use Audacity to record my specific voice, and it looks just like this. You won't have to change really anything as long as your mic quality is set to the way you want it. I'm not gonna go into mic settings or anything like that, but as long as you have your mic going, just hit the record button, and then once you're done, click the yellow square, and then hit file, export, name it something, put it somewhere, and you're good. Once I'm done recording my audio, I just go ahead and use a little software called Levelator. I'll see if I can put a link in the description, along with the VP audio cable. Basically, I can just drop any kind of file into this, and it will level the audio. So sometimes it sounds like really loud or really quiet sometimes, and I don't want that. So I just go in, all you gotta do, here, I'll just show you. Click the file that you want, drag it over into the window of the Levelator, let it go. Once that's done, it'll spit out a file right where your other file, your original file was, and it'll put a dot output right after the name. And then you'll know that it did its job, and you're done. But for those of you who are wondering how me and Jared, my friend, record together and I'm able to edit our audio separately, I'm gonna have Jared explain that, because very confusing.
So yes, we start by recording our TeamSpeak call just through TeamSpeak itself, and that records both of us. And then after that, we'll start up an Audacity recording separately. And then later on, when we go to edit, we will sync those two together so that the audios match up. And the reason we do both is so that the TeamSpeak call records both of us together into one track, and the Audacity tracks record separately, so that we can then later change the volumes on individual tracks or mute one of us if we're being too loud or something like that.
All right. So I think I hopefully explained my recording settings well. Maybe. Before I leave, though, I'm going to show Jared's export set or encoding settings, and he'll voice it over and stuff like that. I'll edit it, whatever. I'll see you right after that.
As for my encoding settings, Grant uses NVENC, but I use X264 just because that works better for me. For this, basically all you have to do is use a bitrate of around 10,000 for 1080p 60. If you're doing like 720p or 30 FPS, you use a bit lower, but 10,000 is usually good for 1080p 60. And then as for under advanced, pretty much everything can stay default. You'll just want to change the X264 CPU preset to very fast, super fast, or ultra fast, depending on how your CPU fares. Other than that, everything default should be pretty fine.
All right. Thank you, Jared, for doing that. And I hope I explained everything that you guys need to know, at least the people that commented asking about this. Yeah, I hope this helped you in your time of need of how to record. I mean, our way is not the most perfect way ever, but it's worked for us, and we're going to continue to do so until we find a new way that's better. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. And I will see you in the next video.